Hola students, hello, welcome to a new lesson of Studying Spanish. In this lesson we're going to be discussing the alphabet in Spanish, pronunciation of words in Spanish, and how every single letter is pronounced in the Spanish language. I'm also going to be sharing with you a couple of the common mistakes that people do when trying to speak Spanish and how to avoid them. So let's get into it. Here on screen, you guys can see the Spanish alphabet. We have the whole Spanish alphabet with a little key for pronunciation below every single letter of it. Now, before we get into it, it's important to mention that as you can notice, we have the exact same alphabet in Spanish as we do in English. We just have one letter in Spanish that does not exist in English, which is the ñ, the letter after the N. For example, in the word niño or niña. However, otherwise, we're going to have the exact same alphabet. So I brought up here to the front the alphabet. I'm going to read it for you guys so you can hear it from a native speaker, then we'll discuss it. You can follow after me, or you can pause the video after I read it and try to read it yourself. We're going to have A, B, C, Ch, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, Ñ, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. It is important to know that in the Spanish language, every single word is going to sound exactly the same way as it's written, meaning that once you know what each letter sounds like in Spanish, once you master that sound, it's going to be very, very easy for you to pronounce words in Spanish. Let's take a look at some examples. We will take a look at 3 examples, and I always like to show my students these examples because these words have the exact same spelling in English, however they sound very differently. Here on screen we have jaguar, the jaguar, a very common animal in a lot of Spanish-speaking countries. So in English, you would say jaguar, so even though it's spelled exactly the same as in Spanish, it has a completely different pronunciation. In Spanish we have jaguar, and you can really see the difference there, and you can hear every letter of the Spanish alphabet. So it's not a U as in English, it's U. That's why we say jaguar. So it's a completely different pronunciation even if it's the exact same word. If we take a look at this next image, we have the ocelot, a very common animal native to Mexico. So incidentally, now that we're speaking about animals, we have the word animal. In Spanish that's animal. Even though it's the exact same word, it has a completely different pronunciation. You can really hear the A there, animal. So it's not an A as in English, it's A, so animal. And lastly, in this last image, we can take a look at a very simple word, general, you would say in English. In Spanish we have the exact same spelling, however this word has a very different pronunciation. This would be general. You can really hear the E there, general, not general, it's not an E as in English, general. This is one of the biggest mistakes that students make when trying to speak Spanish. A great way to practice the alphabet and really master it is to read it over several times a day and listen to it. I always advise my students to try to read the alphabet 3 times a day and listen to it 3 times a day. That's going to really naturally improve your pronunciation of Spanish, and it's going to improve the way you pronounce the Spanish language. If you guys have any questions with this class or with pronunciation, please feel completely free to let me know. I will be more than glad to help you out with questions or doubts. Muchas gracias.